Long ago, there was a great city called Babylon. People said it was the richest city on earth. Its walls were so high that enemies feared to attack it. Its gates were made of shining bronze. Its markets were always full of food, gold, and beautiful cloth. But inside the city lived people whose hearts had slowly become hard and proud. The king of Babylon loved power more than wisdom. The rich men loved gold more than kindness. Many people laughed at the poor and weak. When travelers came from far lands, they heard music, drinking, and loud celebration every night. The elders of nearby villages would often warn their children, "Do not be like the people of Babylon. A city that forgets kindness will one day meet sorrow." But Babylon did not listen. One evening, an old traveler entered the city. His clothes were dusty from the road. His face looked tired, but his eyes were bright and serious. He stood in the busy market and cried out, "Babylon, your pride has grown too big. Your greed has become heavy like a stone. If you do not change your ways, this great city will fall." The people laughed. A rich merchant mocked him. "Look at our walls. Look at our gold. Who can destroy Babylon?" The king's guards pushed the old traveler out of the city. People clapped and returned to their dancing and drinking. But some poor people in the city felt fear in their hearts. One night the king held the greatest feast Babylon had ever seen. The palace was filled with music, wine, and laughter. Golden cups passed from hand to hand. The king stood up proudly and shouted, "Babylon will live forever." The crowd roared with joy. But outside the palace, the wind began to rise. The sky slowly became dark. Thick clouds covered the moon. The great river beside Babylon began to move strangely, as if something deep below it had awakened. At midnight, a loud rumbling sound shook the ground. The palace cups fell from the tables. The music stopped. People looked at each other with wide, frightened eyes. Then the earth shook again. Cracks opened in the streets. Buildings trembled. Statues fell. The great walls that people trusted began to break apart like dry clay. From the river came a great flood of water rushing into the city. People ran in every direction. The rich men who once laughed at the poor now cried for help. Mothers held their children tightly. The king himself fell to his knees, shaking with fear. But it was too late. The flood grew stronger. Houses collapsed. The markets where people once traded gold were now filled with water and mud. The beautiful gardens of Babylon disappeared under the dark flood. People cried out into the night, "Help us." But the city that trusted in its riches had forgotten mercy, and now no one could save it. Before the morning sun rose, the mighty city of Babylon had become a broken and silent place. Years later, travelers passed by the ruins. Only broken stones and empty land remained. Old storytellers would sit beside the ruins and tell their children, "Babylon was once the greatest city in the world. But pride destroyed it." And they would end the story with these words, "A heart filled with pride builds a tall house. But kindness is the only thing that keeps it standing." And so the story of Babylon became a warning that people still tell today. No city, no king, and no person is too great to fall.